in my discussions about ethics lately, or about just deontological and utilitarian ethics, in my discussions for the deontological side and the against the consequential side, uh, I've been using the metaphysical word state of affairs, and I want to just sort of clarify what the hell that means. Um, a state of affairs is a metaphysical discussion about a certain way that um, a certain way that objects stand in relation to each other, and certain how certain objects stand in relation to each other, and how and what causal connections, or what causality is going on in there, and what exactly that state of things, state of events is just happens to be, such as I guess basically a way to describe a state of affairs when referring to morality, even as a good idea, is let's say a state of affairs where you go out with your girlfriend will is one state of affairs. It's a state of affairs where you meet with your girlfriend, and then you know go someplace, which involves a lot of causal interactions, and it involves a lot of mental and physical and worldly events. So basically, a state of affairs is a way of describing a set of objects setting in causal or non-causal relation to each other, as well as causal relations connected together, as well as discussion of certain tropes or properties, and as well as certain events going on in the world or inside human minds. That is the basically the way I would like to describe that. And I guess I would differentiate some two different states of, I guess the whole problem is when when you use the word just describing a certain entity or set of events, or set of entities and events, is how do you individuate them. And I guess this has to be a paramount. I have to have a good answer for this. Because I am using this whole idea of states of affairs and causal relation between two of them. So if I'm going to have causal relation between two of those SAs, then I have to figure out how are those individuated. How do you individuate them? And I guess the way that I would individuate them is certain. I would use the word motive. Motive of a certain willed being. Because I think let's say if you do go out with your girlfriend, then there's at least two beings that have willed motives. And I would say that the qualification is that you have to have at least one willed being that has to have a motive for a certain state of affairs, where they go to the restaurant, and then they eat, and then I guess that's one motive, and then the motive there might be two. I guess the motive there might, and then I guess depending on what that motive is, would depend on how big it is and where you would place the chopper on, where different ones would be discussed. Now, this might be weird that I'm sort of thinking about these metaphysics like this of states of affairs, but if you look at the world through the phenomenological epoche, then you're going to look at things as they feel to you. Things feel real to me, so I'm going to treat them as real. And to me, whether those entities are real or not, I feel like I'm seeing that there's, events and causal relations and all those things going on in between them because of certain motives that go on inside human or non-human minds. And I guess I would individuate them by one motive happening and then being fulfilled, and then another motive originating and then being fulfilled. For example, if you want, let's stick with the man's mind. If he goes on a date with his girlfriend, the state of affairs might not be just to go eat and see a movie with her. It might be to, get lucky, and then that would be the chopping block for the end of that state of affairs. Once he does get fulfilled, once that motive does get fulfilled, or if it does not get fulfilled, then he forgets about it. As long as that motive, that same motive at that same time is still there, then it's still the same SA. But if we're talking about the female, then the state of affairs would be from the time that she meets with her, or that she talks to her boyfriend, and then they meet and they go eat, because it might be she's hungry and she wants to see a movie, and then whatever happens afterwards is a different SA. But that's just I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about, because I think this is necessary for me to do, because especially when I'm talking about morals and I'm talking about what is implied, when you're going from one SA to another and the causal relation in between the two. But I don't know. I guess when I don't know. That's just how I want to refer to them. Probably wrong, but I read David M. Armstrong's sketch for a systematic metaphysics, and that's not exactly what he said, is what I said. So I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. But what he said did influence a bit my saying. Thank you.